The Scottish people have come to be known for, among other things, their disdain for Donald Trump. They've hated him long before the rest of us did.
Some very blunt messages, chants, banners, placards, that sort of thing. The overall message is that Donald Trump is not welcome in Scotland.
But the Irish, it seems, also really don't like him. And perhaps that shouldn't be surprising. The Emerald Isle, known for its immense, lush greenery, is home to one of Trump's golf courses. How could he resist? But then, how could the Irish not resist vandalizing it? If you don't know, one thing you should know about the Irish is that, generally speaking, they feel a strong sense of solidarity with the Palestinian people. You need only look to the history of Ireland to understand why that is. They are a nation of people who have been colonized and occupied by their neighbors for centuries, suffering famine inflicted upon them by their colonizers, being displaced from their historical land, and watching the deliberate and systematic erasure of their culture and religion. In their fight for freedom, their population has waned and struggled to recover, and they lost a portion of their land to their colonizer. For these reasons and more, the Irish tend to recognize and support similar struggles around the world, even when the rest of the world is hesitant to acknowledge them, including the struggles of the Native Americans and the Palestinians. Many Americans didn't like President Biden because of his nearly non-existent defense of the Palestinian people, but Trump has proven to be even worse than Biden in this regard, as many of us expected he would be. Not only has he continued to arm and fund the Israeli forces, he's talked about turning the Gaza Strip into another billionaire's row, the new Riviera, complete with golden statues of himself greeting his non-Palestinian guests. And this week, when, after weeks of relative ceasefire, Israel attacked the Palestinians, killing over 400 of them and promising to kill more, it became known that Trump gave the green light on the attack.
Well, the Trump administration and the White House were consulted by the Israelis on their attacks in Gaza tonight. And as President Trump has made it clear, Hamas, the Houthis, Iran, all those who seek to terrorize not just Israel, but also the United States of America, will see a price to pay. All hell will break loose.
So what's going on in Ireland? According to the Irish Times, the Irish police are investigating criminal damage at Trump's Doonbeg golf course, where a number of greens were dug up. Not only that, but they planted Palestinian flags on the golf course in case there was any doubt as to what this act was in response to. This also occurred while the Irish leader was meeting with Trump at the White House for St. Patrick's Day. No coincidence, I'm sure. That last part is particularly upsetting, that their leader is meeting with the American leader who does not represent anything that the Irish people stand for. It feels like just another case of elected leaders going against the will of the people who put them in power. This is an all too familiar refrain these days. Just look at all of these Republican town halls. They are not going so well. A spokesperson for Trump's property told this to the Irish Times. This was a childish criminal act, but the incredible team at Trump Doonbeg will ensure it does not impact business. We have the greatest course anywhere in the world, and we are so proud of the tremendous success, and we look forward to a great season ahead. Of course, no, nothing should impede business. But I mentioned earlier that Scotland also doesn't love Trump, nor do they love to see oppressed or occupied people. You need only to look at the history of Scotland to understand why that is. The English really were menaces on the world stage. I'm watching Outlander right now, which is like a weird show. I don't know that I recommend it, but it really doesn't do the English any favors. But earlier this month in Scotland, at one of Trump's 2 Scottish golf courses, activists wrote in huge letters on the green, "Gaza is not for sale." Palestine Action, a pro-Palestinian activist group, took credit for the stunt, during which, in addition to painting white words on the golf course green, they dug up parts of the green, including the holes, and spray painted the white clubhouse with red paint. In a statement, a spokesperson for Palestine Action said, "Palestine Action rejects Donald Trump's treatment of Gaza as though it were his property to dispose of as he likes. To make that clear, we have shown him that his own property is not safe from acts of resistance. We will continue to take action against U.S.-Israeli colonialism in the Palestinian homeland." And a Trump spokesperson called the whole thing a, quote, "childish criminal act," which is exactly what they said about what happened at the golf course in Ireland. Unfortunately, I don't expect golf course vandalism to sway Trump's stance on the Palestinians in the slightest. If anything, he'll just become more annoyed with them. On one hand, I'm inclined to think, what is the point of things like this? But on the other hand, these acts of protest are often remembered throughout history. These demonstrations, assuming they're recorded accurately, which isn't always a safe assumption, can speak volumes regarding how the people felt about the things their governments were doing. And whether for better or for worse, the past still does inform the future, even if it happens in ways that we would prefer it didn't. Trump has made it clear that he is fully backing Israel as they resume attacks on the Palestinians. In the middle of the holy month of Ramadan, by the way, Eid is next weekend. They know what they're doing. And now that the ceasefire is over, no progress has been made toward a resolution during the time when it would have been possible to do so. Trump, the self-proclaimed master negotiator and deal maker, had said, "I am sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job." All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks.